I'm speaking with Alex Hargrove, CEO of NetLaw. Alex, good to see you.
Hi, Chris. Great to be here.
Alex, can you tell us about your professional journey from your education to your career path to how and why you came to your current role?
Yeah, so I'm a lawyer by trade, went to law school at Washington and Lee. And while I was in law school, my dad was in big law, running trust and estates at about a 900 partner firm. And he quits his job my last year of law school to go kind of all in on this idea of an online law firm, sort of figuring out how to scale his practice from the ultra wealthy, which is where he had really focused his practice, to a more mass affluent market. So I came back from Washington Lee after graduating and joined his practice in Kentucky, which was kind of the original Hargrove firm. We won this American Bar Association award for the best online delivery of legal services in the country, and then leveraged that to raise outside investment for a non-lawyer company that could take outside investment called NetLaw. And then ultimately, the business model that came together was NetLaw has developed proprietary technology that it sells to Hargrove Firm, which is basically our affiliated law firm. And then Hargrove Firm delivers its services using that technology through wealth management firms to end clients.
Thank you. And can you tell us about a current professional focus of yours, as well as why you're working on that in particular right now?
Yeah, I mean, we're very focused on the wealth management space. So I'm very immersed in that group, headed out to Tiburon, a big CEO summit next week in San Francisco. Our wealth management partners, they have clients across the country, particularly the mega RIAs that we work with. And it's hard to find local lawyers in every one of those different areas where your clients are, keep up with those local lawyers, figure out how to interface with all those local lawyers. So we solve a unique problem for large RIAs and then for individual financial advisors as well. They've got clients in lots of different states. We give them basically a single entry point to a national law firm that's going to kind of put them in the quarterback position. So they're always going to know what's going on with the firm. They're going to know where their client's at in the process and that sort of thing. Insofar as personal interests go, I spend my time with my children. I've got kids. I've got one. I just got back from FSU that's getting ready to head off to college and I think is going to become a Knoll. So we are excited about that.
Awesome. Alex, can you also tell us about some of the risks that financial advisors or wealth management firms might face if they try to go with themselves when it comes to estate planning?
Yeah, there's been a lot of activity and discussion this place, and much of it understandable. Local law firms don't scale. It trying to, estate planning should absolutely be kind of a cornerstone of a wealth manager's practice. And the firms that you want to work with across a whole bunch of different states, they don't scale. So there's been kind of a rush, I think, to find technology-driven tools that fill that gap that do scale. And I think the risk you run in there is things are not always as complex as they appear on the surface, and sometimes they're a lot more complex than they appear. Net worth is not always a proxy for the complexity of a client's estate plan. And ultimately, at the end of the day, you have to look at the bottom of that document and wonder whose name is at the bottom of that document, who's ultimately accountable to your client for the advice. Because even if you're not giving them legal advice, your client's calling you asking questions, and clients are ultimately relying on something when they go and they create and they execute these documents. And you often don't know that problems are there until it's too late, which is often decades down the road when the client has died and now the family's trying to make sense of the estate plan.
Thank you. It seems like estate planning is one of those things that wealth management firms can offer to clients, but that they need the best solutions providers to help them along with that. And that's what NetLaw is aiming to do, correct?
That's right. I'm sure wealth management firms, if they could, from a regulatory perspective, would offer this service directly. But in the United States, only lawyers that are working inside a law firm that is owned by lawyers. So you can't just hire a lawyer to come work for your wealth management firm and draft documents for clients. And the reason for that is really around professional independence of the attorney. They want that attorney-client relationship to kind of be free from the influence of other business interests. So ultimately, even firms that have in-house estate planning attorneys, they've got to interface with someone to be the completion engine on that, that's going to execute the documents, and most importantly, is going to take responsibility for the documents. And that's the nature of the business that we're in.
Alex, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Chris.